Hello and welcome to Madagascar Moments Part 2. In the first instalment we looked at the ring-tailed lemur. Now it's time to meet another species of lemur, Verreaux Sifaka. Sifaka take their name from a call used in communication, a terse "she fuck", which is so close to being a swear word that I will not be repeating it. The Verreaux part of the name comes from 19th century naturalist Jules-Pierre Verreaux. My most memorable encounter with this species took place in Isalo National Park. At first glance, the land appears arid and a little bit barren, but within the canyons, the waterways, rivers, streams sport a lush forest environment. It was within this forest that we encountered a solitary Sifaka. The individual appeared to be resting, calmly allowed us to take many photos. However, when we came to leave, the Sifaka underwent a dramatic behavioural change. It became active, following us through the forest, perhaps curious as to the nature of these strange primates visiting its home. Or perhaps not, as the Sifaka's behaviour turned into something else, something resembling agitation or aggression.
I know how I'd react if we well down in the kitchen.
We're about to be attacked by a lemur. Ooh. Don't pet him. Maybe. Shh. 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 Yeah. Mental. It's not even making any attempt to climb the trees. We're all lonely.
After this encounter, our guide told us that in the recent past, fire had swept through Isalo National Park. All the Sifaka had fled, except for the individual we encountered. The isolation appeared to have adversely affected its behaviour, and the guide theorised that perhaps, rather than chasing us from its territory, it wanted us to remain. It is uncertain if the other Sifaka will ever return to Isala, but if they do, surely that's a Disney film waiting to be made. But don't worry, it's not all tragic anthropomorphism in the world of Sifakas. Oh no. In Karindi Forest, we encountered a family group whose attitude towards humans could best be described as indifferent. They completely ignored us, which was beneficial as it allowed us to observe relatively natural behaviour. Here's some startling insights from Phil Taylor, aka me, from the past.
There, in the tree. We just zoom in a little bit. There's one. Another one further up, lost in the crown. These are lemurs that bounce tree to tree. And it's not a good idea to stand underneath them in case the end game of their digestive system occurs. Very laid back. Enabling some shoots up there.
Thank you very much, Phil from the past. What he didn't mention though was that in addition to shoots and of course leaves, Verreaux Sifaka are actually quite partial to fruit, flowers and bark. The spectacular method of travel we've seen, bounding on two legs, arms raised, is typical of Sifaka species, and Verreaux Sifaka is capable of leaping up to 9 meters. Verreaux Sifaka is classified as vulnerable by the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. This places it 1 threat category higher than the ring-tailed lemur. However, both species face similar threats. Their forest habitat is being destroyed and fragmented for the purposes of acquiring timber, fuel wood, and for charcoal production. Such threats represent a common theme when discussing Madagascan wildlife, and they affect the species we'll look at in the next installment, the red-fronted brown lemur. Until next time, goodbye.